A leaked SCOTUS draft shows that the court's about to overturn Roe v. Wade. Wow, what a story. I mean, the impact of something like this, first of all, the Democrats have got to be jubilant about it in a lot of ways because this could affect the midterms. They're in trouble in the midterms. On the other side, the conservatives say, no, not so fast. This might buoy up the conservatives because the decision's going to come out in June, right? And then the next move is going to be, well, we need to do legislation to change all that. So there's going to be that immediate flashpoint. Why don't you give me your thought on what's happening?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen actually on both sides too. The Democratic-controlled states will say, okay, we need to make sure everything's open and legal. Republican states are going to go back and say, listen, we've been given clearance now. We can pass our laws and restrict this. And of course, bases on both sides are going to be happy about that. But this decision, what this does, and I think the best analysis I've seen, and I wish I remembered who to credit this to, is this is not going to put an end to abortion. This is going to put an end to safe abortion. Right? You're talking about, the back alley type stuff that could arise from this. Women's lives could be in danger. And that, of course, is always the concern. And not to mention, just in general, we had this court decision. This was settled.
Well, it's
settled matter.
Precedent for decades, man.
And so you can't just throw precedent out the window, because if you can, okay, then open season on getting rid of Citizens United.
Exactly.
McCutcheon,
that's a great point. If this happens, and if this is true. Now, look, we all know this. We saw the same thing play itself out with Roberts on Obamacare. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, something was leaked. It wasn't the decision, just some phrase was leaked. And all of a sudden, Roberts was going to deep six Obamacare. It was a lie. It was fantasy.
Yeah.
And now, I don't know whether Roberts was committed to A and then turned to B, but it never happened. And as I watch this, I wonder, is there some similarity here?
I feel like there could be a little bit, or at least perhaps that's the motive of the leak.
Yeah.
And so with so many unknowns right now, could this have been a leftist up there that leaked this?
Yeah.
That's certainly a possibility. Could it have been a conservative? That's a possibility. Both sides have reason to believe that this decision would help them in the midterms.
Well,
and one of the analyses I saw from an article from Slate actually talked about, this could be more of a neutral get the Band-Aid off.
Yes.
So everybody has the reaction before the actual decision.
That's exactly right.
And it's one of those we're going to have to wait and see who it is, what the motive is, who they're working for.
Okay, so who it is? Okay, is it a progressive clerk, whose career is now officially over?
No.
They may make make him or her into a hero. It'll last about 6 months, and their career is over. It really is. There's because they all go to work for these silk stocking defense firms, that they don't go to work for.
Conservative, liberal, doesn't matter up there.
They don't do what we do, plaintiffs work. They want to work for Wall Street law firms. So that career is over. They might be a hero for a little while, but it's over. But you raised something that I want to ask you about. Your reaction was that maybe, just maybe, it's a conservative that is leaking this.
Yeah,
Let me talk about that a little bit, because that... I don't know that I buy into it, but I think it's a good argument.
Right. It's just one of, obviously several possibilities. One of the possibilities Slate even brings up is maybe this was a justice. That's way too far-fetched. But the conservative side of this is that right now we've got lots of states that currently are drafting legislation to limit abortion. So if a conservative...
Empowers them.
Right. They could have leaked this to say, hey, as you're drafting this, keep in mind, we're about to repeal the whole thing, so you don't have to go with a 13-week ban. You can go with a no-week ban.
Yeah.
You can change this. You can make it illegal, and this is what I'm afraid is going to start happening. Make it illegal for somebody to leave your state to go to a blue state to terminate a pregnancy.
Yeah. Okay.
Texas is already attempting that, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's
that'll never happen. That first of all, that is so unconstitutional. It's beyond.
Well, we thought this would never happen too, though. We're in the land of anything goes at this point.
You're right. For me to say this unconstitutional is almost meaningless anymore.
The Supreme Court's a joke, though, and we have talked about that plenty of times in the past. This entire Supreme Court, top to bottom, has become a joke. It's all partisan hacks. There's no real rule of law.
And moreover, a lot of this law is established at the federal court level. It's not, the Supreme Court matters, obviously, but a lot of this is enforced at the federal court level, and it can be moved around as people want to move it around. A good lawyer can go in federal court and they can make an argument, for example, just like Obamacare. I mean, they almost decimated Obamacare in federal court right here in Pensacola, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.